The waters of the Mariana Trench had kept their secret for millennia, but today, that secret would rise. Commander Cora Martinez stood on the deck of the USS Constellation, her dark eyes fixed on the churning water below. The recovery cables groaned under impossible weight as hydraulic systems screamed their protest. She had spent 3 years tracking the anomaly that deep ocean sensors had detected, an object that shouldn't exist, radiating energy signatures that defied explanation. "Ma'am, we're at 80% capacity," Lieutenant Adam Chen called from the operations console, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. "The object is responding to the lift." It's powering up." Cora's jaw tightened. They had expected a derelict, something ancient and dead. "Not this. Continue the operation," she ordered. "All weapon systems on standby." The assembled fleet, 12 warships from 7 nations, maintained their perimeter as the cables pulled harder. Humanity had united for this moment, setting aside borders and old grudges. The Galactic Council had made first contact 5 years ago, and their message had been clear. Humanity was prohibited from space exploration. Too violent, too unpredictable, too dangerous. The Council's armada enforced that edict with overwhelming force, confining humanity to their cradle world like children, too immature to play with the adults. But the ocean floor belonged to Earth, and what lay beneath it was humanity's to claim. The water exploded upward as the spacecraft breached the surface. It was massive, nearly a kilometer long, and shaped like nothing Cora had ever seen. The hull was obsidian black, drinking in the sunlight, covered in symbols that seemed to shift and change as she watched. Water cascaded off its surface as the recovery ships maneuvered it onto the USS Constellation's reinforced flight deck. "Adam, full scan. I want to know everything about this ship," Cora commanded, descending the stairs to the deck. Her boots clanged on metal as she approached the alien vessel. Adam's voice crackled through her comm. "Commander, you need to see this. The ship's database is intact, and it's translating itself." Cora's heart hammered as she placed her palm against the hull. It was warm, almost alive. A doorway materialized beneath her hand, irising open with a sound like a sigh. Bioluminescent lights flickered to life inside, casting everything in an ethereal blue glow. She drew her sidearm and entered. The interior defied physics. Corridors stretched impossibly long, folding space in ways that made her head ache. The walls were covered in the same shifting symbols, but now they were forming words she could read. English, Mandarin, Arabic, every human language simultaneously. "Welcome, inheritors," the walls whispered in 1,000 voices. Adam's voice burst through her comm, urgent and excited. "Commander, I'm reading your biometrics. Whatever you're experiencing, the ship is adapting to you. It's bonding with you." Cora pressed forward, following the lights deeper into the vessel. She found herself in what could only be described as a command center. A throne-like chair dominated the center, surrounded by holographic displays showing star maps of impossible complexity. One map made her freeze. Earth, Sol system. And surrounding it, a network of defense stations, ancient, dormant, waiting. "The Valdari built this," a voice said behind her. Cora spun, weapon raised, to find Adam standing at the entrance. He shouldn't have been able to follow her aboard without authorization, but here he was, his eyes wide with wonder and fear. "How did you—" "The ship let me in," Adam said, moving to another display. "Commander, do you understand what this is? The Valdari were the first species in this galaxy. They fought the Devourers, a race that consumed entire civilizations and won. This isn't just a ship. It's a dreadnought. A planet killer. And it's been waiting here, on Earth, for someone worthy to find it." Cora lowered her weapon, approaching the command chair. "Why Earth? Why us?" Adam pulled up more data, his hands shaking. Because humanity is the Valdari's genetic legacy, they seeded dozens of worlds before they disappeared, hoping that one of their children would be ready when the Devourers returned. The Galactic Council knows this. That's why they're keeping us contained. They're terrified of what we might become. "The Devourers are returning," Cora said, understanding flooding through her as she touched the chair. Images crashed through her mind. A war fought across galaxies, civilizations reduced to ash, and the Valdari making their final stand, buying time for their children to grow strong enough to finish the fight. In 20 years, Adam confirmed, reading the data streams. And the Council's solution is to hide, to hope the Devourers pass them by. But hope isn't a strategy. Cora sat in the command chair and the ship came fully alive. She felt its power, its weapon systems, its faster-than-light drives that put the Council's technology to shame. But more than that, she felt the presence of every Valdari who had commanded this vessel, their experiences and knowledge flowing into her. "Commander, the Council's fleet is entering orbit," Adam warned. They detected the energy spike. "They're demanding we surrender the vessel." Cora smiled, a predator's expression that would have terrified anyone who knew her gentle nature. Through the ship's sensors, she could see the Council's armada, impressive by their standards, laughable by Valdari measures. "Open a channel," she ordered. The alien faces appeared on her displays, the crystalline Azurians. The insectoid creche, the gaseous luminals, all of them wore expressions of fear poorly masked as authority. "This vessel is Council property by law," the Azurian ambassador declared. Humanity will do what we were born to do," Cora interrupted. "We will fight. In 20 years something is coming that will end all of you. But not us. We were made for this war. We were bred for this war, and whether you like it or not, we're going to save your cowardly hides." She stood, feeling the power of the dreadnought responding to her will. Throughout Earth's oceans, she sensed the other vessels waking up. Hundreds of them. An entire fleet. "Adam, send the activation codes to every navy on Earth. It's time humanity stopped asking for permission to reach the stars." As the Valdari dreadnought lifted from the deck, its weapons charging with the light of dying suns, Cora knew that everything had changed. The Galactic Council had tried to keep humanity small and afraid. They had failed, and when the Devourers arrived, they would find that the Valdari's children had grown strong in the crucible of Earth, forged by struggle and conflict into the weapon their creators had always intended. Humanity. Fuck yeah. End.